Honestly, I am actually shocked. I thought it was possible we would get a season 2 to Ashura, but I wasn't expecting a direct confirmation. It's just, everything about this show said to me underrated, undervalued. The only thing that's saving it is it's technically an isekai. And isekais generally get seasons too. But I really, just you can't even just look at buzz in the West as like the only deciding factor. It just nothing about this seemed popular in that way. But thank you, Kadakawa, for just supporting isekai, because you bitches just love to give season 2s, at least to a lot of what you fund. But like, holy man, had we ended it the way we just did with no confirmation for season 2, I feel like I might have had a more bitter taste in my mouth. Not that it would have been bad, but like, they really are saying, hey, you know that Coliseum stuff, the whole like fight and figure out who's the hero? That actually is still important. We just deviated away from that because we had a political war-torn story, which was fantastic. But season 2 seems like we're getting back on track. They really set it up. And we have like 4 of the characters that are left standing that want to participate. Like, we've killed so many, so we're clearly going to have some brand new characters that will be a part of this challenge. But as we just saw with season 1, it's very easy for this show to quickly get into a war-torn story. So I guess we'll see where it goes. I have a full live reaction to this or any of these wonderful Ashura episodes over on my Patreon if you want to see my full uncut thoughts. They're over there if you're interested. Really, I just want to talk more about the idea of this show rather than this episode in particular, because with episode 12, it doesn't really do anything truly explosive. It really just gets you caught up to speed with each of the surviving members, their mindset, where they're at, but they really do a good job at really setting the stage for more political aspects. I think the politics of the show was really well done, and the stuff at the very end with Elia and this like princess who's supposed to be the one making, she's basically the ruler, right? The idea of how do we find this hero? Well, what if we throw them into a Coliseum? The strongest gets to be it, and if no one rises to the challenge, well, we know it's still out there basically, so we can basically choose for them, right? Because they'll have no reason to doubt in our choice if no one comes forward. Just a really intense situation for someone who seems so innocent and pure, and half of me can't tell, is she a psychopath or is she just fit for a throne? I don't know, maybe a bit of both. But it was interesting, right? Because there is definitely some plot points that we wanted to see touched upon at least a little more. I mean, for one, like, did the girl who ran away from Elia and Kia actually manage to run away, or was she destined to die from the beginning? And based on what it seems like in that jail cell before she ran away and that mandrake started slicing everyone up, seems like she poisoned her, because it was a very slow poison, mind you, but like she's dead. She ain't coming back from that. They confirmed that our spider mech is also dead. I know a lot of people are like, well, she might still be around. I mean, this is like the 3rd time they've confirmed she's dead. At this point, I'm just saying, like, if she comes back, it will be for some random bullshit at this point, because like they're really trying to say that this is like she dead and she ain't coming back. But that's kind of like where we stand. Like, just the Terran stuff, I think Terran was like a much more interesting character than I was ever originally expecting. And the idea that, I think it was near the end of last episode, but it was after obviously the whole gunshot and poor Kurt just like trying to crawl to her friend. The idea of, putting out Terran out of her misery pretty much was kind of like it wasn't exactly what she said, look after her, but like, it doesn't change the fact that she very much, she didn't have a good situation going on is what I'm saying. But I really enjoyed this episode. I think they did a hell of a good job at wrapping up what seems to be the first half of a story. I think I would have a much different tune if there was no season 2 announcement, because while on one hand, it's just an open-ended, bittersweet style ending, at the same time, it's something that could leave a lot to be desired, right? Because you're like, holy shit, you threw us with all these amazing backstories, you killed half these characters, half of them are still progressing to that big fight, that big end result, who's gonna be the hero, who's gonna, sit on that powerful throne, all things considered. But the fact that we get a season 2 to something that I don't think I saw a single person in my comment sections over the week say they expected a season 2. All I saw was, don't get your hopes up, I'll probably just go read the source material, and please, for the love of God, give us a season 2. I saw no one say, yeah, I bet it will. Because like the most I was saying was that it probably has a better shot than a lot, because even if Passion doesn't do a lot of season 2s, I mean, it's an isekai. The studio is literally irrelevant. It's about the production committee, and this production committee, especially when you have Katakawa on it, they fund isekais. So like that was the only saving grace, but you know, there's a lot of more generic isekais out there that would sell easier than something like Ashura. So the fact that clearly they wanted to give it at least 24 episodes, it makes me really happy, because these are the types of stories I want to see more of. Those stories that go outside the box, try to tell more of a political story rather than just, hey, here's half the characters from another world. That's a relevant aspect to the show, mind you, but it's just so much more interesting with how they handled it. And I actually think this was a hidden gem of the season, all things considered. Now, of course, not everyone's gonna agree. Like, this show wasn't for everyone. Half of the first half of the season, just people found it distracting. There's too many characters. I personally loved that, though I was expecting that it was just going to be like, okay, here's all these individual things, and every episode we kill a bunch. But while a lot of characters did end up dying, the fact that the death and the carnage that we witnessed felt more about a war political style story than just we're making mindless action because that's what the anime fans want to see. The action had weight, there was stakes to everything, and just in general, I really appreciated this show. It's not going to be my favorite anime of all time, but it's one that I'm incredibly excited to see where the second half of this story wants to go. I mean, based on what they showed me in season 1, I'm half expecting that the Coliseum shit isn't going to go the way they want, in terms of, oh, we're actually going to have it pop off now. But if it does, excellent, and I know it's going to surpass anything that I initially thought it could be when I first approached this show in the first few episodes. In general, this was a really great anime. It was different, it was unique, and I think it shows that just because something has an isekai label doesn't just mean, oh, is a character transported to another world and it's a generic hero fantasy. This was a show that actually used half of its characters coming from different worlds, and the idea of chasing, like, Sojiro just wants to fight strong people. It's not a very complex motivation at the end of the day, but like, you know, some characters, if you're that strong, if a dude can literally have a broken dull sword and cut through a giant robot, it makes sense that he wants to fight strong people. And I mean, Star Runner stuff, I mean, I don't even know who I want to... Like, Kia could probably be defeated just because she's innocent and she doesn't really comprehend how crazy she could be. But someone with a go second kill, I feel like the author would probably want Sojiro to win just because clearly that's the main character from their point of view. But if I had to pick someone who's not Kia, I would probably hope for Star Runner, but it's probably going to be Sojiro, but time will tell. Let me know what you thought, though, because this is for the last episode of the season. Are you going to watch season 2 like me? Let me know down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course, ring that bell so you get notified when I upload more. And like I mentioned, we have full live reactions to all these episodes over on my Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout-out. Alrighty, so today we have Cody Fox, Wade Smith, Vasuva Granada, Gabby G, Attack Owl, Lucas Biknethius, K-Talk, Brett Itzka, One Up Annie, and Demon69C. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. For the love of God, watch season 2 of this wonderfully underrated show, and have a good one.